There are many interesting facets about Brazil. It is known basically for something we call here soccer. Around the world, they may call it football. In a lot of Latin countries, called football. And it's very popular in Brazil. And Brazil is the world-renowned powerhouse of world championships. They have won the World Cup the most so far. And their style of play is beautiful. And they have produced great players, which, of course, Pelé being number one in my book. So Brazil is known for that. It is also known for Carnival. Carnival is a beautiful time when people gather together to celebrate what I call life. And that's what we do when we gather together. Celebrate our existence. Joy and happiness. Why not? So Brazil is known for that. Brazil is known for Rio de Janeiro, right? The beautiful city. And I have to agree with that statement. If you have ever had the opportunity to stand on top of Sugarloaf, Pão de Açúcar, on an evening where the lights of the city are on and the cars are visible as they cross the town, and you take a look, and what you will see from my point of view, a combination of nature and man's structure, insane structure, but it is a structure because people, I assume, must live that close together. And you look at it, and it looks to me the most beautiful city in the world. But of course, I haven't been to all the cities in the world, but from what I see in other photos and actually being here, Brazil is, in Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, in my opinion, is at the top or of number one as the most beautiful city in the world. So that is what people have in mind when they conjure the idea of Brazil. Brazil is a very exotic name. You know, when you say Brazil, it's like, wow, you know, it's all kind of scenarios that take place in your mind. You have Copacabana Beach, right? You have Ipanema. You know, the girl from Ipanema, La Garota de Ipanema. And we have Barrio Tijuca, and we have some very interesting other locations there. Rio is a very interesting city. And of course, I'm not decorating it for its beauty, but we also have to understand that there is a lot of conflict that's taken place in Rio and has been for some time. And unfortunately, many pay the price of that conflict with their lives. And there are two opposite sides that clash in many of these parts of Rio. And it is sometimes very violent. Of course, we understand and we see it. But at the same time, it is still a beautiful city with beautiful people. You know, I don't want It's like it is known for that also, but it is still a beautiful city. And that is what you see when you see and you think about Brazil is Rio. And of course, Sao Paulo, the gigantic, gargantuan, as I say, city, top 5 in the world with population and I believe size. It is a conglomeration of certain sections, right? ABC cities, and it's an incredible large city, a lot of energy, So, and then we also know Bahia, right? Salvador, Bahia, majestic city, with that energy, that spirituality, that high consciousness, frequency of rhythm of life, Bahia. And then, I remember some time ago, not too long ago, I took a trip from the state of Minas Gerais, which has a very interesting story in itself. And it borders with the state of Bahia. And we traversed on the road, and there were very incredible scenic views that you see as you travel, but then we came upon these large, incredible structures. Amazing concentration of minerals, and their shapes and sizes were amazing to me, and I could not understand how is this possible, and what must those who were here before us saw in them or used them for things that today maybe we do not understand. That's a possibility, because we were not there in time, but they were there. And maybe it was a different interpretation, but these majestic, incredible structures had a certain frequency, a certain vibration I felt. It's incredible to see. And so I know that certain parts of the planet have certain frequencies, certain energies, and these structures seems to accentuate them. And that certain frequency I definitely felt, because remember, there are vortex, there are lines just like in our body of energy, of veins, of flow, electromagnetic flow and movement, of frequency, of vibration. And therefore, at certain points, there might be, that's the way we utilize electrical energy today to power much of our technology. There are some plants where there's a concentration of the electrical energy. And therefore, is there a possibility that at these locations, these serve that purpose? So one does not know, but I obviously knew I felt something quite unusual, quite different, very majestic, very electrifying in a way that it's hard to describe. It's a dimensional change that sort of takes place. But right now, my focus is on the state of Rio Grande de Norte. Let's look at it on the map. And so there is a city there called Natal. It's the largest city in that state, and it's by the water. ocean, it's by the sea. And I wanted to feel the frequency and the vibration of that energy and the energy of the land. Because remember, each planetary point is a frequency. There's a frequency pattern. And we know that the earth is a grid of energy, right? And it's just like the body, there's the chakra points in the body. So I wanted to feel what frequency was vibrating in Natal and in Touros, or like the sign of Touros. Very beautiful, very scenic place that was overwhelmed by its beauty. And, you know, it was quite different and interesting. The land is quite, to be honest, very unique. And the people are very in tune, vibration, and harmony, very spiritual, very uplifting, very harmonious, as though they want to vibrate to frequency. Because remember, we all vibrate at a certain frequency. And that frequency, you try to keep it at a harmonious state, so you vibrate at a level where it's compatible to many. And this is how we relate to one another in that harmonious state of energy and frequency. And so I felt that. And so there was a very interesting gathering of thoughts in my mind being there, which was, you know, it was the beauty and the amazement of the people. And so we got to see some very interesting individuals like Brother Tota, who operates one of his dune buggies on the beautiful beaches of Touros. And we saw him many times there, and what he takes you on to understand the beauty of what he sees every day was quite interesting and unique. And so we felt quite at ease, quite at home, and the energy and the beauty and the frequency of that part of the planet was amazing. I would highly recommend it. Of course, maybe some of that might have had a different experience, but I could tell you from my point of view, it was amazing, beautiful, and very enjoyable and very peaceful. There's other aspects, of course, that we could talk about, but in a general sense, I would highly recommend it because it definitely is a sight to be seen. Abundant blessings and peace to all.